This meditation is designed to help you tap into the invitations and opportunities offered by our planet as we transition into the season of spring. During this experience, you may want to have a scrap of paper and pen handy, because throughout the meditation, you'll be invited to add notes, words, drawings, etc. to this scrap of paper. At the end of the meditation, you can read the notes that are along with this video for suggestions on a ritual that you can perform on or near the spring equinox that will utilize this scrap of paper from the meditation. Now begin to settle in. Allow your body to find a comfortable place. This could be sitting, laying down, even moving. Every body is different, and there is no right way to meditate. As you settle in, take some breaths on purpose. Pay attention to your body as you bring in a nice, full, deep breath, filling your lungs, allowing your ribs and belly to expand. Hold the breath for a moment before you release. Let's do that again. Nice, big, deep breath. If you feel safe and comfortable, you can close your eyes. But again, every body is different, so honor what feels right in your body. Just keep breathing on purpose. Breathing like this triggers your mind, your brain, to relax your nervous system. You're telling your brain that in this moment you are safe. You're giving it permission to slow down, to be present. Now I invite you to activate your imagination as I guide you through building some visuals and a landscape to support our inquiry into the reminders that spring is bringing. Throughout this experience, just keep breathing on purpose. We've just spent 3 months in winter, so let's first connect to the current season and what it offers us. Imagine an expanse of white, glossy, untouched snow. When the sun reflects off it, it is bright. Perhaps underneath is a field, but it could be a lake or a pond. We don't know. The snow is too thick. Across the expanse, we can see evergreen trees, the green barely visible through the thick, heavy layer of snow that is weighing down every bough. There are other trees too, but they are barren, holding only big icicles. There is a quietness to the world. The snow is absorbing all sound. The air is crystal clear. The cold temperatures making everything crystalline. Maybe across the way, a little fox is peeking out from the tree line. While the scene is vast and cold and quiet, you are warm and cozy. You are sitting in a cabin on a window seat in front of a big picture window. You're wrapped in a soft, cozy blanket, holding a mug of your favorite warm beverage. The cabin is where your mind, heart, and soul have been craving to spend time all winter long. Honoring the invitation to disconnect from the world around, to slow down and go within. This is wintering. Reflect back over the past few months, this past winter, and consider, have you allowed yourself to spend time in this cabin? Have you allowed your mind and heart to slow down, time and space to reflect? How have you spent your winter? As you reflect, I invite you to think about, what are some things that you did well? What are some things you did that you are proud of? What accomplishments did you see over the winter? And keep in mind, rest is productive. Contemplation is productive. Both are worth celebrating, especially in the context of winter. So perhaps, as you reflect back over the past few months, your immediate thought was that you didn't do very much. And maybe you have judgments around that. But consider that this is exactly what the season was inviting you to do. And the fact that you were able to honor that, forced or voluntary, that is worth celebrating. Noticing it now is worth celebrating. The opportunity of winter is to assess your purpose, mission, priorities, and alignment to them. What do you care about? What is important to you? What is your purpose? What is your mission? And, most importantly, does your reality and your actions reflect them? If someone had access only to your calendar and a video demonstrating how you typically invest your time, would they easily be able to identify what you are committed to? Bring your priorities forward in your mind right now. What are you committed to? And as you think about the year ahead, what are the things that are most important to you? What do you want to nourish? What areas of your life, your community, the world around you deserve your light, your God-given talents, your capabilities? Take a moment now just to make some notes of whatever is coming up for you. It could be about your priorities. It could be about how you wintered. Whatever is wanting to come through you, allow it to do that by writing on your scrap of paper. Now I invite you to put yourself back in the cabin, warm and cozy, with your beverage and your blanket. And as you stare out the beautiful picture window at this winter landscape, still and pristine, imagine a time lapse occurring. Slowly the ice and snow melt away. The evergreens are fuller and bushier as the heavy snow disappears. The expanse of snow in front of you melts, and it's slowly replaced by green, and you realize it's a field. No longer white and glassy, it is now lush and green and soft and squishy. Because the evergreens are no longer dominating the horizon with their heavy white boughs, the trees in front of them are now dominating your attention. They have colorful buds. They are stealing the show. The air looks a bit thicker. The sun has a different tenor to it. Vines are beginning to appear on the cabin, and wildflowers are popping up throughout the field. You feel inspired to leave the window seat. You are craving fresh air and the sun on your skin. So you take your blanket and you make some lemonade and you move to the cabin's porch. You cozy up in a rocking chair and watch the birds and bees and butterflies. Maybe there are some hummingbirds. As you watch the world unfold, as you watch the life burst forth, consider what is wanting to be birthed through you right now. Where in your life is there fertile ground just begging for you to nourish and tend to it? What projects or ideas do you want to invest your time and energy into? Take a moment here to jot down on your paper whatever wants to come through you as you think about the spring landscape of your soul and of your life. Here I want to encourage you to bring in the reality and the fullness that is the process of creation, of giving birth. Think about the human body and the rearrangement that happens in order for the body to produce a baby. The amount of energy it takes to bring forth life, it can be painful. In contractions, there is both forward and backward movement. All of them forwarding the process, but in the moment, it could feel like things are moving in the wrong direction. When something is born, there can be a sense of sorrow and grief because it's no longer being incubated. It is now out in the world. We can feel pride and joy and celebration and grief and sadness all at the same time. They can coexist. Consider also that once the thing is born, it needs to be nourished. It's new. It's just a baby. It needs to be tended and cared for. It's natural to reach a point where you just want to be done, but maybe it's not time yet. And when this happens, there can be bitterness or resentment. Ugh, not this again. This still needs my attention, you may think. As you look at the landscape of your life and consider what ideas or projects or things are wanting to come through you, be honest with yourself about what that might take. Create some space and grace to be with the fullness of the experience, the fullness of being the one to create something from nothing. Take a moment, if you can, to acknowledge your future self and to acknowledge that it may not be all joyful and exciting. There may be periods where it is difficult, where it feels like you're going backwards. There may be an experience of contractions and labor that is visceral. And if you can remain committed to your purpose and your mission, aligned to your priorities, if you can tap back into the wintering and the contemplation and clarity that led you here, the motivation to create this thing, it will keep you strong and grounded. As we move from the winter and into the spring, you are being invited to consider what you want to be allowed to come through you, what you want to nurture in and around yourself this season. Remember, you can say no. You do not have to create every idea that comes your way. You do not have to say yes to every opportunity. It's okay to take a moment to consider if it aligns with your mission, your purpose, your intention, your priorities. Remember that no is a complete sentence. Don't forget to breathe. Take a breath on purpose. If anything wants to come through you and onto that piece of paper, now is a good time to add. The spring equinox offers us an opportunity to pause and connect, to become present to the never-ending cycle of life, to remember that we live on, in, and part of a planet that is providing us with a blueprint if we just simply take a look and pay attention. You have an opportunity to be realistic about the roller coaster of emotions that comes with the process of creation, that comes with the season dedicated to creation. There is an opportunity to take care of the future version of yourself by being intentional about what you say yes and no to. Breathe. I invite you to say to yourself, out loud if possible, I am ready for what is next. I trust myself to navigate this next season. I am ready for what is next, and I trust myself to navigate this next season. As you continue to breathe, allow your toes and fingers to wiggle if they've been still. Move your body if it's been still. Bring your awareness back to your physical space, to the time and moment and things happening around you. Take one last deep belly breath, and when you're ready, open your eyes if they've been closed. We've completed our time together. Don't forget to check the video description for inspiration on a ritual that you can do. It will help you take that scrap of paper and everything that came through you during this meditation, and you can use it to more deeply connect to the cycle of life that the planet is perpetually reminding us of. A spring equinox ritual can be a very simple and beautiful way to connect in to nature and what's happening around you.